Don Castaneda here, once again, nationally certified intervention professional, here with some special inside information on how to protect your loved ones from the drug trade, drug rings, and the fentanyl drug distribution, drug trade epidemic and crisis we're going through here in America. Okay, so first of all, as you'll see with my special background, I've spent a lot of time in jail, 3 to 4 years, something like that. Administrative segregation, a little bit of general population, a lot of basically in isolation, in the hole, you call it, where you're just in a rubber room, like a padded room, shit like that, right? So, all that stuff, crazy stuff, suicide watch, homicide watch, whatever you want to call it, this and that. So I want to say that, this is going to be an episode, mainly about the fentanyl and drug trafficking space, okay? So if you're a kid, if you have a family member or a child or a loved one who's addicted to drugs and they're getting fentanyl, or they're even addicted to fentanyl, there's very few ways to get them help. Sometimes rehabs don't take them, or, for whatever reason, maybe you don't have insurance, or you don't know what to do, or they're refusing help, they're refusing treatment, and they're just refusing to get better, refusing to seek treatment. They just want to keep doing drugs, keep getting high, keep messing around, keep not doing the right thing and moving forward, right? They don't know how, they're just so addicted. And as I mentioned before, people have this chemical structure to where humans are mammals, and we have this addictive personality, this addictive nature, and drugs are psychologically addictive and physically addictive, okay? So whatever they're addicted to, meth, cocaine, heroin, pills, Xanax, all these crazy stuff, right? And marijuana and all that, it can all be laced with fentanyl. And just one pill, one and done. One pill, one kill, okay? So you take one little line of cocaine, one little line of meth, laced with fentanyl, you're done. A few grains of salt, that amount of fentanyl will kill an adult male human being, okay? So most adult human beings, just a small amount of fentanyl can kill anyone. It's very powerful. And so, and you might already know the history on this kind of stuff. If you're a family, a lot of people do not know about fentanyl, so I'm also speaking to them, because family members who lose loved ones, they say they never heard of fentanyl before. They don't even know what's going on, what's in these drugs and stuff like that. Fentanyl is a powerful, opioid, I believe, which is like more powerful than morphine, a lot more powerful than heroin. And there's other even more powerful than fentanyl. There's carfentanil, which is like 50 or 100 times more powerful than just fentanyl, and they can be laced with that kind of stuff. There's nitazines, which is some sort of, heavy sort of tranquilizer that can result in death a lot of times. And there's also xylazine, which causes abscesses. You have to get limbs amputated. It's some sort of horse tranquilizer or something like that. So, it's used for animals, and they are putting that in drugs. Xylazine, it's called the zombie drug. People just walk around slumped over, looking like a zombie, drooling, and just they can't function at all. And then they have to get their limbs amputated because there's abscesses, they get infected and all that stuff. So, in regards to how to get your family and loved one or kid, your child, help, as I mentioned before in my previous video, hopefully you stick around for this information, but you might have to set them up, okay? Set them up. That's what I kind of, there's an ethical kind of, gray area. Is it legal, illegal? Is it moral? Is it ethical? Well, some people believe that if something's illegal, it can still be moral, okay? Rosa Parks sat on the bus, didn't give her a spot up to a white woman or a white person, whatever. Well, that was illegal, right? On the bus, she should have got up out of her seat and moved wherever she's supposed to go, right? To the back of the bus, right? But she wouldn't give up her seat and to a white person, and so that was illegal. I don't know if she went to, I think she might have went to jail, okay? Martin Luther King Jr. went to jail, Malcolm X went to jail, powerful, these civil rights leaders went to jail for speaking their voice, just trying to do the right thing, trying to have unity, cohesion within the American people, speaking for their people, and, trying to just live a good life, right? Of moral and ethical character, this of that nature, okay? So sometimes doing the right thing can get you in some sort of like legal area to where you might be in some legal, dilemma or some legal troubles. But if you're trying to save your kid's life, if you're trying to save a family member's life, you're gonna have to accept that risk and accept that responsibility. So for me, like to set up, if a kid or a family member or someone that I love and care about, I might tell the cops that they pushed me or they assaulted me, take them to jail. Sometimes, like I said, jail saved my life. It can be away from drugs. If you're in segregation or even general population, sometimes it's difficult to get drugs in those areas, especially segregation, right? How are they going to get it to you unless you really, somehow want it or get it or coordinate somehow. But for the most part, a jail and a psych ward, you're going to be safe from most drugs. Things do get smuggled in, but it gives you a chance. It gives you a fighting chance to detox and stay away from the wrong crowd, the fentanyl drug dealers. Okay, so one thing you could do is set them up. Say they pushed you, say they assaulted you, damage some property. Say they damaged property, and that's property damage. Okay, they'll get maybe a month, maybe a few days or whatever, a few weeks, maybe a few months, depending on the amount of property damage. And if they assaulted you, that's a little bit of time too, right? If you want to press charges or not, see how far you want to take it. What kind of time are they looking at? Things of that nature. Okay, you could set them up with a weapon. You could buy some drugs off the street, set them up with drugs. Say, look, they're in possession, okay, and things of that nature. Sometimes, even if they went to prison, that could save their life. So it's like, well, I don't want them to go to prison. That could be pretty bad, but it could be life or death. All right. So if they're, they spend 5 years in prison, well, they might learn some things, discipline and things like that, and how to hold their bearing, conduct themselves, and and so that could really be life changing. Okay, so once they get out, they could do better. They could find a job, work a trade, Salvation Army, drive a truck, work on HVACs, work on ACs, AC units, things of that nature, build houses or whatever, right? They can find a trade once they're clean, competent, and detoxed, and they have the mindset they want to do the honorable thing, right? So the honor system is about getting clean, doing the right thing, abiding by the honor system, okay? So, there's a multiple ways to set them, okay? I talked about setting your loved one up with drugs, weapons, or saying they pushed you or assaulted you. You could slash your own tires. Say they slashed your tires, they just went crazy. There's something wrong with them. Here's the other thing. You could maybe get them sent to a psych ward under certain laws, saying they're a danger to themselves or others, right? They're slashing tires, they're breaking windows, stuff like that. They would go to a psych ward. They might be medicated, okay? Medication, they're already doing drugs. You might think, well, medication is going to hurt them. They're already doing drugs. They're going to die anyway. Put them on medication. It could help. And it'll balance out neurotransmitters in the brain, slow them down a little bit, help them think straight. And maybe they do have a mental illness, okay? It's just not diagnosed. You don't know. A lot of times I've had doctors tell me I'm manic, or, because if I've ever done cocaine in the past or methamphetamine. A lot of people who do amphetamines and uppers, they have that manic feeling. They want to feel manic, or it's like a up and down, right? And then they might do depressants like heroin or Xanax pills and stuff that brings them down. So it's an up and down. That's bipolar disorder. So, drugs can be an indicator of someone having bipolar disorder because, they're out doing risky things. They have poor judgment, things like that. So risky behavior, poor judgment, promiscuous sex, things of that nature. Especially if they're injecting, that's a huge risk. Getting HIV, hepatitis C, things of that nature. So they're risking a lot. They're risking their lives. They're risking their health. They're risking, not being a part of the family anymore, not doing the right thing, and being a detriment to society. And so those are ways to set them up. They might do some time in a psych ward, time in jail, as a nationally certified intervention professional. Okay, we only learn so many things, right? There's so many, legal things that we're allowed to do, right? Just get them help, love, and support. Talk to them, try to convince them to get help, go to rehab. But then what are they going to do after? They need recovery coaching and life coaching to maintain that level of sanity, stability, and sobriety, okay? So they need family to support them. That's why, sometimes in jail, in psych wards, they might make some good friends. They could talk to staff, the guards, and things of that nature, get clean, detox, and try to do the right thing when they get out. And sometimes that takes time because it takes time for your brain to rewire itself. It has to rewire itself and learn how it needs to, run the neurotransmitters, run the synapses, the connections, the neurons. Everything needs to function more efficiently. and healthy, right? It's supposed to be a lot more healthy. So sometimes stuff like olanzapine, which is Zyprexa, that's supposed to help balance out neurotransmitters in the brain, certain medications like that, right? And that's an affordable medication. There's other stuff out there, but that one's not too detrimental. It's the next generation type of medication where there's a lot less side effects. So that's called Zyprexa, right? You can get on 5 or 10 milligrams, very low dose, and that could help, right? You might need more, but just tweak it, figure out what you need. So medication, jail time, hospital time, things of that nature, psych ward time, getting diagnosed, getting the treatment you need, and getting the resources you need, okay? So getting out there, so that's how you're gonna intervene in your family's life and your kid's life, protect them from harm, get them off the street, get them help, okay? So the other thing I'm gonna speak on is, fentanyl, how bad it is, and how it's, killing over 100,000 people a year in the U.S., right? If more families get together and they talk about this kind of stuff, there's certain apps, right? One's called Be Safe, and it kind of alerts guardian angels and your family members who are designated guardian angels of your location. So if something happens, you notify them, and they know where you're at, and they can drive to your location and help you and get you out of a distressful situation, right? If a drug dealer is trying to sell you drugs, or if something's going on, or if there's an argument, or whatever it is, right? So, I want to work with the developers to try to maybe make a better app, or figure out what apps are already out there. There's other ones for special needs and things of that nature, but for the most part, you want to really talk to your family and have that type of educational session with your loved ones. Try to get them help. If they don't want help, set them up, okay? That's what I recommend. Set them up. That's what this whole episode is about. Setting up your loved one. That sounds crazy. It might be funny to some people, but set them up. Set them up with guns, weapons. Tell the cops they assaulted you. Tell the cops, they pushed you on the ground and they threatened you. Say they threatened you with violence, domestic threat and stuff like that. They slashed your tires. Slash your tires. Slash it. Break some windows. Say they did it, right? Who's going to prove anything? The police are going to believe the parent, right? The police are going to believe the parent over the kid, usually, right? The kid's the one who gets corporal punishment. They get spanked for misbehaving. Now, if they're an adult, what can you do? If you're an adult, if they have a boss, you could call their boss, call their employer, tell them, look, they're doing drugs, you need to work with them, and tell them they're going to get fired if they don't seek treatment, right? That's how you might be able to force them into treatment. Threaten them to get fired, then they can't support themselves. They're going to have no money, right? You need to call their boss and their employer, okay? So that's another way to handle that situation, all right? And, as I said, that's just really getting them help, right? When I say set them up, that's just getting them help, right? Getting the help they need. Jail and the psych ward is really just an institution, and it's the correctional institution of justice, right? There's Department of Justice, Correctional Department of Justice, things of that nature, right? So these institutions, you can take correspondence courses, Christian courses, paralegal courses, and prison, I believe you could go to college there. You could learn plumbing, welding, different trades and things of that nature. When I was in jail, my friends would recommend that I do electricianry, right? Become an electrician, a master electrician, a journeyman electrician, things of that nature. Work my way up to master electrician, and you'll be making a lot more money, right? You get certified, you go through the Union of Electrical Brotherhood or something like that. You get certified and things of that nature, and so it's an institution where they try to help you. Another one of my friends had me he was talking to me about joining his crew about climbing radio towers and changing light bulbs, okay? Changing the light bulb of a radio tower 2,000 feet in the air, right? That's a dangerous job, but it's a job. And, you can support your family. And if you're clean, competent, sober, and you're in shape, that's not a bad job to get, okay? So, get insurance, things of that nature. Do what you have to be safe. Use safety equipment, safety gear. And, it's really so the planes in the sky see that light and they don't hit the tower. Things of that nature, right? So that's an important job, right? There's a lot of stuff out there. On my site, you're going to see at the bottom, there's 80 to 85 jobs that you can get without a college degree. and those are going to be helpful. That's free information, a free guide to, try to navigate to what you need to do and where you can work and how much money you can make. Most of them are over $50,000 a year. So look into that kind of stuff. As I mentioned, jail and psych ward is just an institution. In the psych ward, I got my laptop. I was on one of the best, most privileged units, and I was able to enter and enroll in a cybersecurity program. And I was just taking the cybersecurity course online with my own Wi-Fi, my own computer, and the doctors were letting me. I would just sit in the day room on my computer all day, literally all day, doing assignments and work and stuff like that. So research and everything like that, putting things together, making my own lab environment, working with cybersecurity, okay? So there, you can do anything. In jail and psych ward, you could take courses and join online programs in psych wards. Obviously in jail, you're limited to, you can't have that type of technology or things of that nature, right? But you can take correspondence courses, learn from your friends, learn about job trades, get kind of like an informal education and things of that nature, and get some guidance and mentorship. This is about guidance and mentorship. A lot of people are good people. They just want to help each other. They did something wrong, they know it, they have remorse, they just want to help people. It makes them feel better, it helps them with their situation, and they feel like they did something philanthropic, okay? If they're helping you, they're helping themselves as well, okay? So, that there is some unity and brotherhood and all things of that nature in places like that you wouldn't expect, right? And it might just be temporary, okay? But it could change people's lives, right? People are really advocates in there. They're advocating for each other, and people are really just trying to help each other, okay? Obviously, there is some danger and risk that comes along with environments like that, but as I mentioned, if your loved one is on drugs and it's life or death, they're going to die soon, or it's life and death. They're going to quit and get better, or they're going to keep doing drugs and die. That's how it's going to work for the most part, right? And, they'll get lucky if they survive, but they need to clean up. You don't see too many old drug addicts in their 80s or 90s or anything like that injecting stuff because they die at a young age, right? Most of them die young. And that's the sad thing about it. So, they have to get clean while they're still young, so they could live a long, healthy life, right? And be there for their family, care for their loved ones, and be a benefit to society, make a positive impact, and let their voice be heard. And maybe they could write their own story, make their own, educational, informational, video and that kind of stuff, and let other people know what they've been through, so they can help others as well, okay? There's a course that I took, the addictionsacademy.com, and anyone who has an addiction, they could get certified and learn how to help people, okay? They could get Christian certification, learn about, Christianity, drugs, sex addiction, things of that nature, and whatever kind of addiction it is, right? It could be money, spending money habits, things like that, right? Gambling addiction, things of that nature, online addiction, just, having a moderated balance between everything, right? Christianity, your finances, your health, and things of that nature, mental and physical health, right? Doing what you need to, dieting, exercise, hitting the gym. What I'm about with my nationally certified intervention professional, but also life coaching and recovery coaching, is extreme physical and mental health, okay? Physical and mental health, you're gonna want to take a good vitamin, comprehensive vitamin, as I mentioned before, Mother Earth Labs, okay? MotherEarthLabs.com. Take a comprehensive vitamin, get a gym membership, exercise, even if it's just walking, lifting a few weights, hitting the sauna, things like that, sweating out those toxins, things of that nature, okay? Do that for a few months. You'll feel a lot better. Continue going to the gym every 3 to 5 days a week, at least, right? Maybe 3 to 5 days a week. And that'll be your new habit, right? Taking your vitamin, instead of injecting, taking drugs every day, your new habit, and as I mentioned before, your new habit is taking vitamins every day, hitting the gym every day, studying every day, trying to work on a business every day, or if you're at a job, trying to work your way up to management or get promoted, okay? My uncle used to work at the bottom of an auto shop, and he used to just change tires and do oil changes. Now he's a manager, making like over $100 grand a year, okay? It took him a while to work his way up, but you can work your way up wherever you're at, okay? So this is kind of just a rundown on my history, my experience, but it's also helped me, okay? I've been addicted to things, drugs and things of that nature, even alcohol, things like that. You know, pills, drugs. I've probably been laced with fentanyl a few times. Luckily, I survived. Okay, but dieting, exercise, eating right. You know, staying healthy, hitting the gym, jogging, brisk walk, getting some sun. You know, maintaining my mental health, playing chess. Okay, playing chess. You know, studying, taking cybersecurity program, online programs, paralegal programs, correspondence courses, Christian programs, things of that nature. And you're gonna get better. Once you get in the groove of things, it's just like jogging. You're gonna get in shape. Okay. Once you get in shape, things become easy. So you know, set them up. Set them up if you have to. Well, really, only if you have to. If you can get them help, and they're volunteering and they're willing to get help, that's great. Okay. That's how it should be. That's the best way to work things out for your family. Okay. But if they're refusing, if they don't want you, if they're rebellious, or they just can't, it's not their fault because they're addicted so bad that they're not making the right decision. Poor judgment. They got some, you know, brain damage and things of that nature from the drugs, and they're just have, you know, bad behavior and things like that. They're just reluctant, or they're rebellious and things of that nature. Set them up. Okay, what are they gonna do if they want to fight? You know, you gotta fight back, right? What's a parent if they're not willing to fight for their family's kids? If they're not willing to fight for the family or loved ones, who are you as a brother or sister if you're not willing to fight? Okay, so you have to fight for your loved ones, whether that's with legal court issues, legal battles, you know, paperwork, things of that nature, and you know, and as I mentioned, that's a form, like a spiritual form of warfare. Spiritual warfare, right? Set them up, send them to a place. They're better. They're housed. They got shelter, 3 hots and a cot. They're in an institution. You just got to pray for the best and start praying for them. Okay. So that's the last key message I want to leave you with. Hopefully, you got some information out of this. You know, and obviously have a sobriety companion, a sober companion. Try to have a buddy system where they have that accountability. Get a health coach, get a life coach, get a recovery coach for them, and things of that nature. Get them a talk therapist, so someone they could talk to, someone that could guide them. And as a father, mother, or brother, sister, things of that nature, aunt, uncle, you have to be there for your family. You have to, you know, instill character in them. Make sure they're doing the right thing, and teach them that, you know, if this continues, and once they get out, you know, if this continues, set them up again. Just do it again. Set them up, right? What can you do, right? Why watch them on the street, you know, get their, start losing teeth, start losing limbs? Why watch them rot and things of that and do that to themselves, right? They might as well go to jail or prison, okay? They might as well become a trustee and do something, right? Clean floors, work in the kitchen, work in the law library, things of that nature. Get educated. It's going to help, okay? It's an institution of correction, okay? Institution of correction and justice, okay? That's what jail and prison is, and that's what psych ward is supposed to be, right? To improve and enhance your mental health so you can become a competent member of society, you know, and do the right thing, right? Maintain mental and physical health, okay? And be a benefit, make positive impacts in society. So I hope this information was helpful. Hope you learned something. Once again, my name is Adam Miguel Castaneda, ex-Marine, nationally certified intervention professional, recovery coach, and life coach. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Peace. Back again. One more thing I failed to mention, one more thing I want to mention is that, you know, with the whole setup process, if you're a cop and you're watching this, if you're a judge or lawyer or district attorney or prosecutor or whatever, and you're watching this, or you're government, whoever you are, like government watching this, and you're like, well, you can't set them up, that's illegal, and we're going to get you and this and that. Well, basically, you know, they set me up. I've been set up, right? Nobody cares. The judge set me up. My court order was expired, and they had no legal right to send me to a psych ward, and they sent me anyway. They sent me in jail for 6 months. At one time, I've been to jail multiple times, but they sent me to jail again, and then they sent me back to a psych ward, like 2 different psych wards, right? Carroll State Hospital and SASH, San Antonio State Hospital. So my court order was expired, and I missed a dose of medicine. I didn't have to take medicine because my court order expired. But they said, look, we think you're getting worse, your mental health is deteriorating, we're going to try to get you better. And they basically set me up with, like, they just broke the law. They broke federal offenses, they broke the federal law. And these are federal offenses that the judge is committing, that the district attorney is committing, that these lawyers are committing, these cops who are transporting me and all that, they're committing felonies, basically federal offenses, okay? So another thing I'll say is that I was facing 99 years in prison, okay? My charges were extreme, right? I don't want to say them, but I was facing 99 years in prison, life in prison. Okay, so that's pretty messed up, and that got me a little bit thinking and a little bit kind of in a dark situation. But what the lawyers do is they'll drop the charges, but they'll hit you with so many charges, like 10, 20 charges, or like 5 or 10 charges, that even if they don't get the first degree felonies, they're gonna hit you with the second and third degree felonies. So that's the same as a setup, right? If they can't get you with the top extreme, most time, they're gonna hit you with something else, right? They're gonna make sure something sticks. That's the same concept. Is if your kid's doing drugs, your family member's doing drugs, well, they're already breaking the law. They're already doing something wrong. They're just gonna commit more crimes, just putting them on the wrong path, right? So, you set them up. You're hitting them with different charges, right? The different charges. Okay, they're doing drugs. Nobody cares. Cops don't care. Judges don't care. Lawyers don't care. Okay, they're gonna overdose and die, or they're distributing. Nobody cares because they can't prove intent to kill or anything like that. Well, same concept. You're committing. You gotta hit them with another offense. Okay, so they committed some offenses. Nobody cares, so you gotta hit him with new offenses, right? They pushed me, they hit me, they slashed my tires, they broke my windows, things like that. Set them up, okay? I don't believe there's anything morally wrong with that. Legally speaking, judges commit federal offenses all the time. Cops commit federal offenses. Cops kill unarmed people, unarmed American citizens all the time, like hundreds or maybe even thousands a year. Over the past 20 years, they've killed over like 30,000 unarmed individuals, unarmed American citizens. So cops commit offenses, judges commit wrong verdicts, even juries can make mistakes and things of that nature. Doctors commit medical malpractice. Doctors commit medical malpractice, killing over 250,000 people a year in the United States alone, up to 400,000 people a year in the United States alone. These doctors are really killing a lot of people. So, you want to talk about committing crimes and things like that nature. Take these doctors to prison, right? These cops and judges who are committing offenses. But still, what I'm saying is nobody cares. Nobody cares. Get your kids, set them up, do the right thing. I think people will understand, okay? A good judge is going to understand if they know what happened, if they find out the truth. A good doctor may understand. There's not a lot of good psych doctors out there. There's really not. But if you do get a good one, just try to find a good one, try to find the right one, a good center, good hospital, and hopefully you just pray and talk to them. You have to communicate with them and help them understand, okay? So you have to talk to them, communicate with them. Keep that communication with everyone, whoever you're dealing with, cops, lawyers, judges, doctors, things of that nature. Keep that communication going, and they'll hopefully understand, okay? You did your best. That's all you could do. Fight the good fight. Fight for your family, fight for your loved ones, fight for your friends, okay? So that's all I'm going to leave this message. Key takeaway, protect and defend your loved ones, okay? Stay safe.